staying with us. You're still watching Successful Women Talk here on your Golden Channel, Channel 265. We are coming to you from the Designer's Warehouse in Tabani Mall. Right now we are going to be talking to a young lady who manages this very big, beautiful store. She's going to take us through her journey as a young person and what keeps her focused. Keo, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm very interested in hearing your journey. A lot of people your age are out there having fun, but you are in a management position. I'd like to find out how it all started. What kind of a young child were you?
Well, I am one of 3 children, second born, but I am the only child. And it started from there. It was just me and my mother. It was a lot. It wasn't very easy for me to get where I am, but it took a lot of courage. It took a good push, and it took a vision of where I wanted my life to go. And by doing that, it made me realize that, you know what, there's more than just partying. Yes, it will be there, like how adults always say, it will be there, it is there, and it will always be there. But I just decided that, you know what, I'm doing this. All these things will come once I am where I want to be.
And at what age did you start working? And what pushed you to say, in as much as I'm still very young, I'll start working?
I started working straight from high school, actually. I was raised by a single parent, and I just decided, you know what, my mom is not working, let me just go and find a job, and everything continued from there. I started working for the Department of Education as an invigilator, and then decided to go to Woolworths after that because I was working during exam times at the Department of Education. So I was like, this is not going to sustain me and my mother. And then from Woolworths, I just decided to land at the Designer Warehouse.
And how has your journey been with the Designer Warehouse? I'd like you to tell us from where you started within the company up to where you are now, is the manager of this beautiful store.
Well, I started at the Designer Warehouse, I even remember the date, on the 1st of October 2019, and this year will be marking 2 years of me being in the company, and I'm in a managerial position. Initially, when I left Woolworths, I felt very stagnant of where I am in my life, so I was like, you know what, let me just take this leap of faith, go to the Designer Warehouse, a different ball game, and here I am.
What was your first job within the Designer Warehouse? Because I'm pretty sure you did not start off in management.
No.
What was your first assignment within the company?
Okay, it was cashier / admin manager.
And how did you manage now to advance, to upskill yourself, to be able to be in a position to say, when they say, okay, there is a managerial post, you're there for them to take you?
Well, it took a lot of hard work. There were days where I would just go home crying and be like, you know what, I feel so stuck, there's no change, this is what's happening at work. But I was like, you know what, my faith in God and everything that was happening and the fact that my mom is relying on me, I had to push myself to get where I am. I started advancing in the technology side. When we got our new systems, I was the first one who knew it in and out. All the other stores, all our other branches, they'll ask me, Kia, how do you do this? And I'll be like, okay, let me connect you, I'll hack into your system, and then I'll help you out, and then do everything. Stock, the dispatchments were done by me. Like, it was just a lot. I had to teach myself that, you know what, no one will teach me all this work. I have to do it myself. I have to lift myself, and that's what encouraged me.
And how do you feel that you being in a position where you upskill yourself and you know everything that happens within the organization has managed to elevate you to be where you are now?
The big bosses saw recognition. They saw me for everything that I was doing. They saw that I was dedicated. They saw that I had a vision to take the company somewhere and they could rely on me for that.
And as a young person, right, what keeps you grounded? Because like I mentioned earlier, that people your age are out there, they're partying, they're having a good time. What makes you so grounded to have a vision that is productive?
I would say it's being disappointed in myself. I wouldn't want to let myself down. I wouldn't want to let that 16-year-old girl down that's deep within me, that wants everything that she has ever dreamed of. I'm still on a journey. It's a long one, but I am on the way to getting where I am.
We are in 2021. COVID came unexpected, right?
Yes.
How did it affect you on a personal level, and also how did it affect you within the working space?
So, on a personal level, I had started studying and I was paying for my own fees. So, on a personal level, financially, I took quite a knock. And then on a work front, we had to start working in batches. So our main branch, we had to be divided into 2 batches. So one batch, the 1 week, the one batch would go to work. The second batch, the other one would go to work. So I was between our main branch and our other store, which was at the Oriental Plaza. So I was in between those 2 stores. So it was quite a year. It was a year.
Now that you're here, you are now in Limpopo, having moved from Joburg, right? And I'm sure everything that you know is in Joburg, right?
Yes.
How have you found your transition now to say, okay, in as much as you're taking a new post, you're now in a place that is completely different from what you're used to. How have you managed to transition and settle in Limpopo?
I wouldn't say I've settled in. I am still transitioning. It's still a long journey. Language is a barrier. I will not lie. Language is a barrier. Speaking it definitely is the biggest barrier, because my great-grandmother was Venda, so I could initially understand Sivenda, but speaking it is still a journey. I have my staff, which every day they try and teach me a few words. I haven't constructed sentences, which is very weird. I've been here for a month, but I haven't constructed sentences. But conversation, I can definitely like answer you. If you ask me something, I'll answer you.
Would you say that you are in a space where, in as much as it's difficult to settle in, you are hopeful to say, you know what, this is a new journey. I'm sure this is the first journey you're taking on your own also as an adult, to say, I'm here, I'm all alone, it's time to start a new life altogether.
Yeah, it's been hectic. I could say that this is my growth. This is a transition where I've been waiting for it, to be alone, not alone as in being alone. Yes, I do have people guiding me. Yes, I do have people praying for me. And yes, I do have people rooting for me, which I really appreciate. My people, like from when I learned that I am moving this side, people were like, you can do this. This is what you've been waiting for. This is what you've been praying for. Like, I even remember the weekend before I was actually told that, you know what, we're offering you this position. I was walking home, just got off a taxi, walking home, and like there was this corner close to my house, and I'm like, you know what, God, I just need a change. I just need a change, even if it's a career change, a job change, location change, I just need it. The Monday when I got the news, I was like, God, you were really listening to me when I was speaking to you. So I have a very, high level relationship with God, that everything I do, I could be sitting anywhere and I'll be like, God, this is what I want. This is what's happening. I need you to take the wheel in this. And He's been taking the wheel.
Talking of people who are watching for you, right? People who are guiding you. How important is it as a young person to have a mentor to have someone who you really look up to, someone who's able to guide you, who's actually gone through the journey that you are on?
Well, it is very, very important to have people that are true to you. There are a lot of people that will mislead you, they will misguide you in life. But if you have the right support system, the right people to talk to, the right people to lean on, that even if things are at the worst level, they will still be there. At your happiest, your lowest, your downest, like your rock bottomness, they will still be there. And I'm very fortunate to have that small circle of people to be with me.
You're watching Successful Women Talking on your Golden Channel, Channel 265. To continue with this conversation and more, you can be in touch on s_women_meg, that is on Instagram. Or you can contact us on WhatsApp number 071 481 6091. We're still speaking to Keo, a young manager at the Designers Warehouse in Tabani Mall. Keo, I would love you to take us on a journey on what does one expect when they come into your store. I know your store is an exclusive store, right? Mm-hmm. But for new clients that are based in Limpopo, what can they expect in your store?
Well, they can come here and expect an experience, a feel-good experience. That's what my big boss Ahmed Bula always says, give your customer a feel-good experience. They could come out at home upset about something, a deal that went wrong, and they could just come to the Designer Warehouse and get that feel-good experience. And they can come in here, even if just to browse around, have a chat with us. You know, when you go into a store and you have a chat with someone and then you vent and you let everything out, like you feel better afterwards. We have something like that. We give you that feel-good experience, but also mainly we are a male store, slowly transitioning into becoming both male and female. So, yeah.
How did you discover now maybe an eye for fashion, especially for male fashion, because most of your clients, it's male clients?
Okay, so when I transitioned to the Designer Warehouse, I knew nothing about male clothing. Yes, my uncles actually used to dress very nice, so that also used to give me like a vision when I see a customer. I have this one uncle, Thabo Matloa. He dresses like amazing. He even comes to the store and be like, no, I want this and this and this and that. And I'm like, no, now take this and put it together. He's like, now this is why you're my niece, because you get that experience. Like, it's just a good experience to make a man feel good in what he's dressed. It's not just something that you just find. It's something that you grow a passion for.
And where do you see yourself as an individual in the next 5 years maybe?
Well, I see myself as a shareholder of the Designer Warehouse. Yes, I'm putting it out there. I'm putting it out there. And I see myself in a place where I could inspire other females to actually go into spaces that they never thought they could go into. Mm-hmm. I never thought I'd be here. I had a lot of people saying no to me, people disappointing me when I came to them for help. But I was like, you know what? This should uplift me. So I want them to be uplifted themselves.
Talking of disappointments, right? How do you handle disappointments and manage to go past that?
Well, the one thing that I taught myself and the one thing that my mother instilled in myself is that no matter who says what, as long as you tell yourself that, you know what, I am going to get it. Let that no turn into a yes in your heart. Let that no turn into a win for yourself.
And what advice would you give to young people who are still trying to find their feet? They don't know what they're interested in, and they see a bleak future because they don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. What advice would you give to them?
One advice I could give to them, do not rush yourself. It is a very long journey. I am still on it. And just have faith that things will turn out the way they're supposed to be. Have faith in God. Pray. I always pray and manifest. I pray and manifest a lot. And sometimes when my manifestations just come through, I'm like, really? This is something I prayed about, and this is something I manifested, and that God saw me worthy of having that manifestation means that things are possible. There is faith out there.